What it do, homies? We are back with some more SABATON. This time we are checking out a song called Yamato. Now, this kind of came out of nowhere, right? This isn't part of an album or whatnot. This is just a standalone song. And when I went in here and I clicked on, the title, because, you can collab with other channels, it looked, we see Word of Worship, right? And Better Noise Music. We've seen that with their album and everything. For the most part, this must be a sponsored song, right? Which why it kind of seems like it fell out of nowhere. SABATON, honestly, especially when it comes to like World of Tanks or World of Warships and everything, and they call World of Tanks. SABATON's one of the best bands to do that through, right? Because of the amount of care and love that they put into their videos, and the fact that they talk about war, they sing about war, and it's metal. Come on now, what else could you want? Anyways, Yamato down here. Let's figure out what this person or this thing is, right? Because they always give us some information down here at the bottom. Japanese battle. Okay, so it's about a battleship. I mean, I guess I should have. It's warship, right? This isn't about a person. Okay, I 100% came in here thinking that it was a person, but this is a battleship. So let's read a little bit. So we need some of this context to fully enjoy the song. The Japanese battleship Yamato was the pride of the Imperial Japanese Navy, conceived in secrecy and commissioned in 1941 as the most powerful battleship ever built, really. Displacing over 70,000 tons at full load and armed with 9 unprecedented 18.1-inch main guns. Okay, you're telling me that, and it sounds huge, but that might be one of them things where I need to see in person to really see just, you say unprecedented. The size is unprecedented or the amount is unprecedented. Y'all let me know. Yamato embodied Japan's belief in decisive naval combat. As naval warfare rapidly evolved with the rise of carrier aviation, Yamato was often employed as a fleet flagship, okay, right, Big Dad, the big boy, serving as a commanding presence and a symbol of resolve rather than engaging constantly in battle. Okay, a symbol of resolve, right? So it's almost kind of like, if you don't want to escalate a fight, you kind of flash, maybe a little hardware, you know what I mean? Flash a little hardware. Maybe you can, strike some fear, before the fight even happens, which is nice, right? Symbol of resolve rather than engaging in a constant battle. Not only that, but I imagine the cost to run this thing is probably pretty high. Her final mission in April 1945, Operation Tengo, reflected the courage and sense of duty embodied by her crew. Sent to defend Okinawa against overwhelming odds, Yamato fought on despite relentless attacks from American carrier aircraft. After sustaining numerous bomb and torpedo hits, she sank in a massive explosion. Okay, went out. She went out firing, literally, right? Sustaining torpedo hits. All right, now we have some context. We can enjoy some SABATON. I mean, we didn't need it to enjoy some SABATON, but it makes it better. Let's go ahead, shut up, turn it up. Hey. Let me tell you something, man. Hey, those of you that have been rocking with me for a long time, man, we've been on this journey for a minute. Some of y'all been around since my very first SABATON song, right? Which I'm sitting here trying to think about what it was. I think it was Templar Steel. It's about the tank. I can't remember the name of it. We've been around for a while. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because, I've seen a lot of their live action stuff. And man, it's getting 10 times better, bro. Did Joachim just do a backflip in the water, man? Tell me that wasn't edited. I know some of this stuff was edited teleporting up to the ship. That might not even be edited. But did you just do a backflip in the water? Are we on some different type of energy right now? I see.
No retreat, she lead the fleet and race and rule the waves of thunder, of fear, to rip the
every time Sabaton releases new music, man, you don't want it to be over, man. I just want to sit here and just be like, hey, new Sabaton, man. And right now it's still new. I'm still hanging on to it, right? Because I ain't heard the rest of the song. I love the way that this opened up, considering that we're kind of talking about naval combat, right? when literally stuff, when stuff hits the fan, firing. That's what we got there at the beginning. Really kind of sharp staccatos, right? Almost kind of symbolize battle, right? Fire and everything. But then when they started singing, it's like they stripped a lot of the instrumentals, right? And it wasn't for a long time. It was just subtle. The bass was there. And I think the drums were there, but for the most part, it's mostly just Joachim's voice that was commanding that. I like that, right? Because just like in Tornado, I imagine the same thing is at sea in warfare, when it comes to naval warfare, is that there's calm before the storm. But sometimes that calmness, no matter how long it is, might feel a short amount when naval combat actually starts, right? That you could be at peace for probably years, but then when that combat comes, it might feel like that peace, that quietness it didn't happen that long. You might always feel that way. So the fact that you gave us a little bit of that peace right there at the beginning, right when they started singing, before we just went straight into the massacre that is what you're doing, beautifully doing to our ears and everything with phenomenal music. It's just amazing. And then the chorus, even the chorus kind of sounds like you smacking us up. Da 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 da. And over the years, Sabaton has they have a sound. They for sure do. And I feel like you mostly hear their sound in the pre-chorus, right? And then the chorus, right? The chorus, man, it's hard to turn down some Sabaton after hearing the chorus. Come on, ain't no way. There's just no way. You don't just hear that and say, I ain't listening to Sabaton anymore. I heard it, right? And then 3-4 years later, here we are. You know what I mean? I'm speaking from experience here. Come on. I don't need to tell y'all that, right? I'm preaching to the masses. The only reason why you clicked on this is because you like Sabaton too. And for those of you who have never heard Sabaton before, you are welcome. Accents. You want to know something? I feel like they only went through that chorus once the first time when I really wanted and I really wanted them to double back, man. I can't fully understand what he's saying, right? I'm kind of listening to just the musicality of it, but God, that chorus is crazy, man. And it's not like he's doing like some type of magical, no complex stuff here. The beauty is in the simplicity, right? It's relentless and it doesn't change, right? The power is in the repetition. He's not saying the same thing, but the melody stays the same. And I love that, right? It invites you in. You got to sing it with him, man. So powerful. The rain. Hey, there was a couple of runs in there where it kind of reminded me of Through the Fires and Flames. Not the whole entire thing, just a little bit of runs in there, man. But when he was scaling up, come on, man. The silence is broken by crimson. Give me that chorus again.
No more pain to rise again. Rise, rule the waves of thunder now. A future with the tide. Gusts and guns resist the darkness down below. Legends fly. Rise and rule the waves of thunder now. A future with the tide. Gusts and guns resist the darkness down below. Legends fly.
Bro, you see the nice visuals and everything, that even though the ship was tanking, right, they still kind of gave us kind of like a visual audible version of determination, right, holding on to the very last second. They still rocking out, even though they're giving us the visuals of climbing on and holding on and everything, but they ain't letting up. You know what I mean? We might be turned over, but we gonna absolutely fight until we water. I almost, you know what I'm saying, almost to kind of demonstrate the determination and kind of like the immortalization of the Yamato, right? Because ain't nobody forgot about it. Here we are talking about it, you know, decades later. The immortalization, right? Yamato got immortalized. You know what I mean? So I thought they were going to continue, you know, run the chorus back and then continue it underneath the water. Come on, man. You know, that would be cool. But I like what we got. You know, don't make a mistake, bro. Come on, man. I came in this tired. I had a very long day at my 9 to 5, and SABATON returns, and it just makes my day. As always, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this down in the comments. Dave's out.